Yo, so as I get used to this YouTube thing, or this YouTube platform, at least for the time being, until I can get a hold of my own and do my own thing, but this is going to be it for a moment. But I really like this YouTube, really because right now I have 2 new videos up. No one has watched them, and they've been up for like, maybe 3-4 days now, and no one's watched them, which is the best thing because I feel like I can breathe. I can say a whole bunch of stuff, load up, just a whole bunch of videos. And then when it's time to tell people to check out my YouTube, they got a plethora of stuff to choose from. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So whenever y'all see a lot of these, when you see a lot of them, this is number 3. I don't have the capability to be editing. I think I can. I got an iPhone, so I'm sure I can edit and do this little fancy stuff and get a little sound effects and all this little shit in your face, but hell, I ain't got that. So I just got an iPhone, hit record, send, and load them up. That's it. That's all I do. So I wouldn't know how I would categorize, and I don't want to anyway, categorize this channel or page or whatever you call it, because it has nothing to do with what box I'm trying to fit into. Never been that kind of person anyway, especially if you know me. I ain't never been that kind of person. No way. I always done my own thing. But I say that to say this is, this be all kind of stuff. I go from talking about music, as you see, to, like I said in my last video, I could be talking about what's his name, Trump, and I could be talking about some economic stuff. Just whatever. Hell, I actually made a video that I was gonna post of me seeing the sunset here in Arizona, just to see some, just different shit. It's a little lifestyle. I guess that's what it'd be, lifestyle. But other than that, just be myself. I don't know. But damn, motherfucker got lazy eye like a motherfucker damn near closed. I should be talking like this. But anyway, today I decided to get on, because I ain't been on in a minute. Then I was like, well, fuck it, might as well say something. But I was thinking, I have been doing some research lately, and people, what they call research now is looking at YouTube videos, and I get it. Sometimes you gotta get YouTube videos because somebody else has done all the research and they just giving you the shit, and so that's your fast way of dissecting it, and I understand it. But me, I'm still a little bit of old school, so I like to go find the article, read it for myself. I like to hear it from the horse's mouth, really, for lack of better words. I like to listen to Malcolm X and hear what he said come out of his mouth. I listen to Martin Luther King and the speeches that he said come out of his mouth, and his conversation, interviews, and debates he had, the words came out of his mouth. I really like that, to where I can use these facts against those facts. It works every time, so it is what it is. But anyway, I read books every now and then. I do a lot of more what's called audio books than I used to before. I used to fly through like 2-3 books a month. But hell, life and interrupts, and then hell, I got to a point where I didn't even read a book for a full year, and that just irritated my soul, So now I'm just getting back to reading the kind of books I like to read. It's cool. So you may hear me talk about a book or reference a book or something every now and then. But next, I would definitely like to bring to the attention that I've been doing some research and studying. And I seen that Joe Biden stole that motherfucking election. No, but for real, there was a article from, I want to say it was MSNBC or Washington Post, one of those, where the civil rights leaders had got upset, and because they have not been in communication since the election of the false election of a fake election, president, what's his name? Sleepy Joe. That motherfucker. It is what it is. So, but the NAACP and the Urban League said they have not heard anything. They ain't been in no kind of transition union, and they want to, talk. They didn't want any vetoes. This is what they said. They said they're not looking for a veto from the president. They're looking for a conversation. So Joe and Kamala they do just that. They give them a conversation on Zoom, and on their Zoom call, Al Sharpton has said that because Al Sharpton was on the call too. Al Sharpton said, "Well, I know Joe Biden. Not only it's time out for symbolism, which he said being symbolic. You know, it's time out for symbols and it's time for substance. You know, as Al Sharpton could only do it. He said same. He said if I know Joe, Joe is a man of substance. If I know Kamala, that's a woman of substance. And so what he's doing is a preacher trick in a way. But I would say he a bootlicker too. But it is a preacher. I call it a preacher trick. But it's a trick to where you tell somebody, you give them those accolades, okay, of holding them up, hoping and praying that they'll take it from where you got it and actually carry it. Because you know that's not them. That's like me sitting in a car garage, right? And I say, I'm a Cadillac. I'm not no Cadillac. I'm just a person in the garage. But that still don't make you a car, right? Now I can say all day long, I'm a Cadillac, but I'm still gonna get up on these 2 feet and walk. So all day long he can say, I know Joe and Kamala are people of substance. And he's just hoping that they give some kind of substance. Don't mean that they will. He's just saying, thank you for being some kind of substance or providing some kind of substance. But he really made an effort to say that. And I really do like that about Al Sharpton. Oh, by the way, the conversation was recorded. And they didn't know the conversation was recorded, but it leaked. So I'm just going to get, we're going to take time and go over it. So, during the conversation, your boy Joe said, who was the first one to say black people were dying on a faster rate than anyone else? I was. I said it before any black person, before any white person. He said, I was the person in Congress that made sure the black people got this or got that. I was the one. So what he doing then, if you just know people and how manipulation works, what he doing then, he telling you, don't come to me asking for shit because I've been doing. So it ain't really no need for you to come talk to me. That's what he's saying. Don't ask me no questions because, my track record, I'm working on this now. We want the Green New Deal, equality for the women, and equality for the LGBT. Y'all motherfuckers ain't in it. Civil rights was 20, 30 years ago. Ain't no more of that. We back. We moving on to the new America is what we doing, and that's what they doing. So, the new world at that, without you. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Cause I get to going in my head, man. I get to thinking. Ooh. But I like my little magnets. These are really energizing. So anyway, after Joe had said what he's done and how he's done it and how many years he's been doing it, and he was the first one to do this before the whites did it, before any white politician, before any black politician, he was make sure it was proud and known that, I was the one who did this, I was the one who did everything. You showed that you put a lot of motherfuckers in jail too, didn't you? But we ain't gonna talk about that because they don't want to talk about it, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But anyway, I digress. During that conversation, Joe Biden also said, he said the whites are going to be the minority in this country by 2030, 2040. 2040, that's what he said, 2040. By 2040, whites are going to be the minority in this country. And then he goes on to say, he said, you want to know who be the majority? The Latinos and Mexicans. They outnumber y'all. This is all what Joseph quote. Now, I ain't no allegedly none of shit. You can go see it for yourself. I'm going to see if I can actually post it or like tag the link of the audio. It's like a 15-minute audio from this guy that I found through another person on YouTube. See, YouTube is useful. Help spread information for now. Because Facebook used to be like that. But once you get to spreading too much information they don't want you to spread, they're going to shut your ass up. What's the point of asking me what's on my mind? And if you're going to delete me or block me for saying what's on my mind, I just never understood that. But anyway, backing up. Joe goes on to say, the Mexicans outnumber y'all. He says, y'all should learn to speak Spanish because that's going to be who you deal with. Now, what do you think he's saying? So whites. But what they're going to do, they don't include so much of everybody that's going to flush out our reparations and all these things that we think we should get, because now everybody got to say so. All the LGBT, they got to get theirs too. The Mexicans, they got to get theirs too, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Get it how you live, do what you do, but watch my shoes. You understand what I'm saying? Live how you want to live, but we got to get what's ours first, okay? And what is ours first? We can debate, but definitely reparations, and in the form not of different government programs, which the Democrats love to push, because then it includes everybody. You can be white, black, Hispanic, blue, green, purple. They don't give a damn because it's including everybody, you know. But if you're thinking with the capitalistic mindset, just give me some money, you know, untaxed. As a matter of fact, don't tax me income for the rest of my life, as long as I can prove I got at least X amount of native of what African American blood, whatever the hell, however they want to do it, because that's what's gonna happen. They gonna have to do you blood. They got, you know, and I say that because out here in Arizona we got Native Americans and they get reparations. Yes, they do. Some get $3,000 a month on the first of the month. Some get $6,000 a month on the first of the month. They got free hospitals. Yes, they do. They can go to any hospital, to their own hospital. They ain't got to pay a dime. They can go to school. They ain't got to pay a dime. They get oil money. They get money from the oil, that fracking shit. They get money from that too. But nobody ever talks about that because you don't know it, and that's okay. But they do. Us, on the other hand, for some reason, we don't want anything. We don't ever demand anything. I seen, what's his name? George Stephanopoulos had interviewed some old ass black man, and I don't even want to say he's black. He's some, and that's nothing too. Just because they black in America, we tend to make them black Americans when they're not black Americans. You just black in America. Catch it later. Catch it later. But anyway, so the guy was like, George Stephanopoulos had asked the old man, since Joe Biden won, what do you want from Joe? And the old black man was like, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing from Joe Biden. I just want my grandkids to grow up and live in a safe world. Of course you don't want nothing because they don't owe your ass nothing. Yeah, if you'd asked my granddaddy would have said, first off, you can tell that motherfucker. Different kind of conversations, you know, but symbolic. What Al Sharpton was talking about was because we really get, I say we, because as much as black people like to dismiss me, I still count us as black. Well, count myself as black until, you know, I say I don't want to be with y'all niggas no more. I'm a high yellow. I'm not high yellow. But symbolism is Kamala Harris and what's his name? Joe Biden at the inauguration. They say, for our people. And they don't do nothing for the people. But the moment they do this, we just, the crowd goes, wow, black people love it. We posting on Facebook, you see, this is my president. I want to grow up and be like her. Now, they won't do shit for you for the next 4 years. But because they did this, it's the symbol. Because you see it, you believe it. But because you see it, you don't feel nothing. You don't feel nothing. Everything's still the same around. The light bill ain't got no cheaper. Rent ain't got no better. You still ain't got that home you've been wanting to buy. You trying to save up money, get your credit right so you can get a home, instead of just actually having programs set to make sure that black people get a home regardless of the credit. It's because we owe you that. But we don't want to talk about those things because we want to feel good. We need the symbolism. So symbolism. Joe Biden decided he wanted to get the black man to, you know, to run general, whatever the hell it was, and that's fine and dandy. But it's symbolism, because what is that one black colonel, who the fuck he is, what is he gonna do for the collective of the black people? See, that's where you gotta start asking some questions. What exactly is that black person doing to make sure we as black people are benefiting from them being in that position? Wait a minute. What is that black person doing in the position that they in to make sure it benefit all of the black people? That's how it should work. That's how it should work. If you in any little area or any kind of position where you got a little say, a little power, especially when it comes to the government, and you black, and if you thinking more so what's better for the community, that is fine because the constituents voted for you, the whites voted for you, whoever voted for you. That's fine and dandy. However, that mindset has got to be, and a mindset has better be that of black nationalism or that of what will this do and benefit for people that's like me. Not just saying black people in America, for the black Americans. You understand what I'm saying? From the roots, the black original people that was here, because all of us didn't come over no boat. You can stop believing that lie too. All right, so I don't know how much more time I got on this little thing because my memory is be short as hell. I deleted a whole bunch of photos and videos just so I can try to get some time out. So right now I'm at like 15 seconds, going on 16 seconds. But this is it. Just a thought. Like it, share it. I guess whatever the hell you're supposed to do it. I don't know how this works. But it's gonna come a time where those who, that look like us but ain't working for us gonna get exposed. See, my thoughts always on, the black people. We all come together for this corona thing, and we all agree that corona is a bad thing to happen to the world and to the country and all that. But you ain't about to be testing my people with like no guinea pigs for no vaccine. If anything, I think you should test all the soldiers first. Yeah, because if you give it to them, you don't want no weak army, do you? Well, you test the soldiers first. If something go wrong, then we don't have an army. You damn right. Or you think they willing to fuck up the army, for an experiment? No. The army they ain't saying anything about the army getting it. They dispensing it, but they ain't getting it. I ain't heard that yet. Now I'm sure the generals and they'll say, yeah, we have to get the shot first. Hey, they all get the shots first. Yeah, you get the shot first. But anyway, I'm gonna try to work on my enunciation. I hope you guys can hear me too. I mean, I really don't know. I'm just talking. It is what it is. Normally this would be a Facebook post, something simple, maybe, what they would call provocative, make people talk and think, and that's all I ever wanted to do was make people talk and think. Because if you don't talk and think, then this is gonna get idle. Your hands get idle. They say the idle mind is a devil's workshop. But I truly believe, and we all got our own opinions, don't get me wrong. If you love Joe Biden and you vote blue no matter who, then we need you too. That took a lot. That took a lot for me to say, but it's the truth. We definitely got to work better together, even with different opinions. We need that, honestly, like no jokes aside. We really do need that. Difference of opinion, different views. But one thing we all need to be on is on that one accord. How will this benefit black Americans? Have a good day.